Welcome to China Focus. I'm Shelley Zhang. Now, the hottest commodity in Hong Kong right now is baby formula. People are going from mainland China to Hong Kong in droves and clearing store shelves of the stuff. It's gotten so bad that Hong Kong's just passed a law that says that you can't bring more than 2 cans of baby formula over the border. And if you try to smuggle more over, you could even get jail time for it. Here today to talk about this issue, we have Jason Ma and Chen Zhifei. So I was reading a bit about this whole issue. It's been going on for the last month since Chinese New Year, and nobody can get baby formula in Hong Kong. And it seems kind of ridiculous. I mean, people are saying Hong Kong officials have called back custom inspectors from retirement to police, you know, how much baby formula goes across the border, things like that. Like, how did we get to this point?
I guess it's just kind of get to this point because in the past 2 or 3 years, and Chinese, for 2 reasons. One reason is Chinese local milk, the quality is so bad, nobody trusted because the scandal of the melamine kind of issue happened in 2008, 2009. And so the local milk is not considered. And the second thing is its price difference, because the imported milk inside China is like at least 20% more expensive than the milk in Hong Kong and in many other part of country. So that's because the tax, like a lot of tax was levied from this milk imported products inside China. So out of these 2 reasons, and plus in this more and more Chinese have access to Hong Kong and have access to place all over the place, like they went to Australia, and they went to US, they went to UK. So buying formula from over the kind of world to China is already became something very routine. But because Hong Kong has direct connection to kind of mainland China, so they can bear the kind of the heaviest kind of. And a lot of local mother cannot easily buy formula by themselves. So in this way, they require their local government to do something. That's what the local government decide to do.
So, you know, China has imported formula brands as well. Is it just a price issue? I mean, do they trust the imported brands in China?
I think the custom duties probably really make the price prohibitively high for local ordinary Chinese. So speaking of the folks who are relying on import formula for their kids, for the baby, I think they are largely the upper class, not ordinary citizen. But this issue, this topic, really triggered a lot of discussion in China because it was sensitive. Because the Hong Kong government has formally made a policy that it can only smuggle out, it can only buy, or it would be put in the category smuggle out, 1.8 kilogram of milk. That's like 2 cans of it. That's very small in amount. And local people really hated that they couldn't get the milk that would be very easy to get otherwise. So there are a lot of sentiment and a lot of discussions and also recrimination in this whole saga.
So it seems like Hong Kong is trying to, you know, prohibit people from taking the infant formula across the border. That's one way of kind of just trying to stop the flow. But isn't there a way to solve this problem within mainland China?
Yeah, I guess of course, I mean, the easy solution is people begin to buy their local baby formula, but that is not a solution. Although the Chinese official kind of speak person for the kind of National Congress, so he said 99% of local formula should be with satisfactory kind of quality, but nobody believe it.
Yeah, and that's the issue for the government as well as for Hong Kong people. And Hong Kong has been made the victim of this whole story because they really shouldn't be the position to be the producer or provider for the entire nation's need for baby formula, for sure, milk formula. I think it's largely inaction or the wrong action taken by the government. First of all, they sent out the wrong information that up to 97% of the baby formula is good, which is refuted extensively by bloggers, by people on the internet, because they found for those kids, babies who have used locally made baby formula, they suffer all kinds of ailments.
Well, let's talk about the trust issue, because you're saying the government says 97 or 99% of the infant formula is okay. I mean, and people don't believe it, but wouldn't they have tried to crack down on this after the 2008 scandal?
I guess the funny thing is before the 2007 scandal, the center of this scandal is a factory called Sanlu.
Yeah.
And indeed, at that moment, Sanlu is considered the top brand in China, and Chinese Communist Party's central TV station even have a continuous report and how serious they are about their quality. They have this claim, the CCTV, the news agent, claim they have 1,000 level of quality check when they produce. And almost several months later, they have this big scandal out. So all these kind of things really put the official kind of statement, the trust to the children down to the ground. And after that, they have a lot of cover up. They have like the baby formula. I mean, a lot of family, they were suffered from this popular formula, kind of polluted baby formula. And when the family tried to fight for their kids, and they were arrested, harassed. So all the government did is the consequences. Nobody believed in the government in any kind of way.
So basically you're saying that the trust issue has become impossible to repair.
Yeah, if you look at what these kind of things will be handled in the West, of course there'll be a lot of media coverage. So in China, actually, we're seeing something very different. There is collusion between the government and the media. So media would play a role of covering up these kind of incidents, and so the government would definitely be given the free hand to do whatever they want. They didn't have the accountability that would be subject them to scrutiny in the West. So they, of course, don't want to invite more trouble for themselves. Also, they have commercial interest in those milk makers or farmers. They can get more taxes for them. They could have been given some bribes. So it's very hard to imagine a clear solution in China, given the political situation.
So if there's no clear solution in China, like let's go back to the Hong Kong-China issue, because this is not the only source of friction between people in Hong Kong and mainland China. Recently there have been property market prices, like people saying that mainland Chinese are coming up and buying all our property, putting prices up. Until recently, there were women coming from mainland China to Hong Kong to give birth so their kids could get residency permits. Increased political pressure from Beijing, a lot of issues. Is this kind of the latest thing? The friction going to continue?
Exactly. I mean, why this is a hot topic? Not everyone in China need baby formula. Why this became a national debate topic? It's exactly because this. It's because of the division between the Hong Kong people and the mainland China people. After, China take over Hong Kong almost like 15 years. 15 or 16 years ago. But after 15 years, Hong Kong claimed to be part of China. The people are dividing further. This is an amazing topic. I mean, because
so
this is the cost the Communist Party has paid for its political convenience. It's largely a marriage convenience that Hong Kong came back because they used a system that's unique called one country, two systems. So it's unprecedented. When you see the unification of Germany, Western Germany, Eastern Germany, they became one country immediately, right? People can move around, goods can move around freely. However, it's not the case for Hong Kong and mainland. Mainlanders still supply most of the basic necessities, down to fresh water, eggs, fruits, vegetables to Hong Kong. And Hong Kong is refusing to provide, having this kind of reciprocal kind of goodwill in providing quality baby milk. I'm not blaming Hong Kong people on this. However, this fact I'm just laying out, of course, will cause some recrimination or discontent on the part of the mainlanders. However, for Hong Kong people, they also had a complaint because you were cleaning out, as just said in the opening remark, all the shelves of the baby milk formula. Of course, I'm going to be angry because my baby needs to be fed. The local government has to take action. And you look at it, the root cause, the so-called one country, two system. This kind of regime is not working.
But there's no way to have one country, one system, because Hong Kong came back under one country, two systems because
That's a precondition. Otherwise, would not come
I guess
back.
everyone knows, even Chinese government, CCP themselves knows that their system is not that good. I mean, if they really use their system to rule Hong Kong will lose any kind of attraction to the world.
But you spoke of the real property price hikes, and just ask people living in Vancouver, even in the West Coast of the United States, they would complain about it also, largely because of the influx of Chinese. But those Chinese not from mainland. Those Chinese were from Hong Kong. They flooded into those areas in Vancouver and the West Coast of the United States, largely because of their fear of the communist takeover.
Oh, that's
there was a large
before
exodus in 1997.
Before 1997.
So they knew that the one country, two system would not work. And now in Hong Kong, we know they even politicized the education system by forcing the local kids read political books or political history concocted by Chinese
But that's
Communist
also
Party.
create another kind of anti-mainland kind of issue. Basically, it's
You even see like people having protests where they're like, Chinese, go back to China, and like flying the British flag. So
right.
That's probably too extremist.
Right. No. I guess there are a strong mentality like that. I mean, basically, after 15 years, they surveyed the younger generation. From the younger generation, more and more Hong Kong people consider them as Hong Kong people, not Chinese people.
That's the point I'm trying to make here. In the early 1990s, Western Germans were more proud than Eastern Germans because the political, disequilibrium or mismatch. But now, if you visit Germany, I think the whole country is one wholesome entity. And I guess similar things would happen when the two Koreans get reunited. However, after 15 years, we're looking, the Hong Kong people actually are getting off course more and more. That's really troublesome.
So is there any kind of solution to this issue?
No, because you do have two different systems. You have two different ideology systems, and you have two different belief systems. I mean, when these two kind of a group of people, and then they put them together under one name, China, and they clash more, they hate each other more. Yeah, that's the situation.
So we're not looking at this. This is probably not, the baby formula is not going to be the last thing that creates this kind of friction, huh?
No.
All right. Well, thank you both for joining us today and talking about this issue. And thank you for watching. For more on this and other issues in China, join us at ntd.tv.